Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Guys, I just wanted to sit here and talk to you guys for a few minutes about this movie I want you all to check out, and I want us to have a conversation about it. Um, the movie is called American Refuge, and it's free. If you have demand, it's totally free. I just found this movie randomly. Um, this is midweek, Wednesday evening. Just got finished eating dinner and cleaning up and everything. So I'm about to get ready and take a shower and just relax for bed. So when I just was going through demand, I realized that, because I always check demand and I go to premium channels because they've been having a lot of free movies lately that you can kind of like just watch for free. And these are new movies. This is a new one. This just came out a couple of weeks ago. So I checked out the movie. What I always do, I always try to watch the previews, but for some reason I was not able to watch the previews on this one. So I had to go to YouTube and then I typed in the movie. It came up and I watched the trailer. So it looked really good and I was very interested. So I said, okay. I said, well, I'll watch it after dinner. Wait till my son get home safely. So he's home safely. And I got finished with dinner. And like I said, I straightened up. And so I sat down and relaxed. I got my little blanket and everything, my feet all up. So I said, let me just go ahead and check this movie out, guys. When I tell you, I feel like this is a movie for us to have a discussion about when it comes to prepping and when it comes to what's going on in the world, what possibly may happen, and what could happen if you're not prepared and you don't have anything for you and your family. Guys, I want you guys to go check this out. Like I said, if you have demand, type in American Refuge and we're going to have a discussion about it. This is something that I want us to do coming up for the new year. I watch a ton of movies. I'm a movie head, movie fan, movie fanatic, whatever you want to call it. I fell in love with movies ever since I was a little kid. Get me a good nice meal, take a nice shower, something on relaxing, got my blanket, turn on a good movie, and honey, I am like, you won't hear a peep out of me for the rest of the day. So anyway, this movie was so intriguing to me because there's so much you can learn from these types of movies. Like I said, especially coming from, you know, just what's going on in today's society or what could break down and happen. And, when it comes to me being a prepper and a lot of you guys being a prepper. Guys, when I tell you this is exactly what can happen, that what happened to this family, chaos started happening around them. The father was putting it off and was saying we was okay. It's okay, we'll be okay. People panicking for no reason. The mother was actually concerned and scared that they didn't have basically enough. They was not prep, guys. They was not prep. They didn't have basically hardly anything. They had just moved out, looked like to the rural area, and they was not prepped. They didn't have their home secure. They had no they had no ways of protecting themselves. They had no food, no preps, no water. It just, they had nothing. And when the mother did go to the store and trying to get some things, the store was like wiped out all the way around them. So it's just crazy, guys. And I said, well, see um let me just see what's going to happen in the movie. So anyway, she met her neighbor in the grocery store, and the neighbor was pregnant. And so she told her, she said, the father, the one couple, the father was like, if I'm not mistaken, I think he was like in the stockbroker or something like that, or working for the bank. But anyway, he had a good job, a teacher, something like that. And the mother was a doctor, and they had three children. One of the the teenage girl looked like she about 16, maybe 17. The young boy looked like he could be 11 or 12, and then they had like a newborn, probably about 6 months, somewhere around in there. So I already knew. I said if something was to happen, for them not to be prepped up, this is just gonna be bad and a disaster. So anyway, one night they was in the bed and they was asleep, and the father heard something, so he was able to get up without making any noise, and he realized somebody was in the house. He kind of like crept downstairs a little bit, and he realized it was like three people. I think it was like three or four people in the house, and he was able to get the kids and his wife up without anybody making any noise, and he kind of like attack one of them or punch out one of them because he lured two of them upstairs. And so I think it was like three in the house. So he lured one of them upstairs. Two of them went upstairs because he played the music. And they went upstairs to check it out. So it was one left downstairs. So he kind of like punched the guy out, and they were all able to run out, him and his entire family. Because remind you, they had no way of protecting themselves, no way. So they went out, they ran out into like this little wooded area next to their home. They only been in that house, I want to say, they just moved out there I want to say about a couple months ago, about 6 months. And like I said, things had been going on, but like I said, the father put it off, and they was just not prepped. But the mother was very concerned. So you can tell there's some tension with them. I didn't know what was going on at first, but I guess to find out, I guess the father had cheated or whatever. They was working on their marriage or whatever. In the process, them working on their marriage, they had another baby, but the mother was still kind of like not over it. So it was a little bit of tension there with them. So anyway, after they got out and they was in the woods, and they realized that the lady she met in the store the day before their house got broke in, they noticed that well, she was already over there checking on the lady because the lady had started bleeding, and her husband, he already kind of like seemed like he was off a little bit to me. So he wanted the wife, that was the doctor, the neighbor, just to come. And the husband said, well, no, she's not coming by herself. I mean, rightfully so, because he's a stranger. And they're going down in this bunker. So she remembered she had visited the lady she met from the store, the pregnant lady. And she had just saw her a day or two ago at her house because for heavy bleeding. And they didn't know why she was bleeding. So they noticed that, they realized that, hey, it ain't no other neighbors for miles. Remind you, they're in the rural area. So they went over to the closest neighbor, which was the pregnant lady and her family. Went over there and, you know, asked can they stay there because their house got broken in, had no food, had no water, had no protection, and nothing. So basically, the father was like, no, we can't help you. So she said, well, your wife is going to need help. You know, I'm a doctor. She's going to need help when that baby come or whatever. So he decided to go ahead and let her and her family come on in. So I would not want to be at the mercy of anyone, you know, especially no one I don't know, just a stranger. And that's just me. A stranger that I don't know. They don't know you. You don't know them. But he needs you because his wife is pregnant and she having complications already. And then you need him and his family because they have all basically the food, water, shelter, protection, and all that. So they go down in this bunker or whatever, and everything. I mean, it was a little tension with the guy. Like I said, I thought the guy was a little off, but I understood why he did some things that he did, because you just never know when everything break down eventually. But from the get go, he just could have been a good, decent person that wanted to help, you know. But he had sinister intentions, and you know, either you're gonna help someone and do right, or you're not. It's always good to be on your guard because, like I said, they're both, each family is strangers to each other. They just needed each other for different reasons. So it was just so crazy. I just said, see, this is what happened when you not prepared at all. If they just had some type of security set up at their home, and they had a way to protect themselves, and they had some extra water and extra food for at least 3 or 6 months, they could have figure out the rest, I'm assuming, because they looked like they had some animals on their property. But if they at least had water, food, basic essential items, some security, and a way of protecting themselves, they would have been perfectly fine. But instead, they had nothing, and they had to be at the mercy of a stranger. So they're all down in this bunker. And like I said, of course, you're going to have trust issues because you don't know each other. Men are going to be men, you know. Of course, they're going to try to establish, even though it was the one neighbor's bunker, but of course, he want to establish who's the king, you know, because hey, to be honest with you, if you think about it, he was considered king. The king, you can say that because he had everything and they had nothing. So, but then and again, he did needed the doctor too. But after the baby was born, it's like, and the wife and the baby was okay. It's like he can just kick y'all back out again. So anyway, he ended up did him and the him and the other father had, you know, tensions and stuff like that. So he ended up kicking the father out and the son, the son out, and he won't let the teenage girl and her mother or the newborn baby leave. So it just all went all crazy. But he started saying that y'all gonna have to depend on me. I protect y'all. I'm God now and all this stuff. When people start saying they're God and all this stuff, I said, see, I don't know. It was so weird. So I was like, I wonder how this was gonna end up. So I just kept watching the movie, and I mean, it was okay. I wish it was a little longer. It was pretty much okay, but I just think we can learn so much from this movie because it's some things that you did. Basically, it's some things it would tell you not to do. It would show you not to do, and it's some things it would tell you the reason, you know, you have to do certain things. Some things I agree with the one man that had the bunker, and some things I did not agree with him. Like for instance, I don't agree with no one calling their self God. I don't care what situation we in, but it's like really. But anyway, he was acting all weird, and he was basically want to hit on the other mother because the other mother, his wife, could not breastfeed for the life of me. She just couldn't breastfeed, and she said it hurt and everything. And so the other mother started breastfeeding. Then it was some tensions there. So it just started getting all crazy or whatever. But basically at the end, things worked out eventually. And you know, things work out. No one died, thank God. But it just goes to show me personally what can happen when you don't have your own stuff together at your home. You don't have your home organized and properly taken care of, and things that you need at home, that you have to rely on other people and what possibly can happen once you there. So this is why I worry about my elderlies by themselves and single people by themselves, because if you don't prep and have protection for yourself and have security, you is considered the weakest link, basically. It is what it is. That's why I have been telling you guys ever since the last year and a half. I feel like if you living in a apartment, or you living in um a not a apartment, studio apartment, of course those people are um more likely to be, you know, to be targets. That's why I told you guys in a couple of my videos that if you live in an apartment or have a studio apartment, if anything was to happen, it's a good time. I told you guys at the beginning, the middle of this year, it's a good time to sit down with family and friends that's like-minded like you, that you feel like you can trust. It can be a family member, friend, neighbor, somebody you feel like you can trust, and y'all sit down and y'all have these discussions and see, is it okay if they have a home and they're preppers like you, or they may not be preppers like you. They're light-minded, good people. If you feel like you can trust them, and they have a home, um, it's good to ask them, is it okay if anything happen or break out? If I can make it to your home, is it okay for me to stay? And I said, if they say that it's okay for you to come there, you may you may want to, like, you know, stay in communication with them, just in case, hey, if something happened, you make your way to their home, because it's not going to be safe in an apartment and in a okay, condos. You can be okay, but what I'm saying is the people in these studio apartments and apartment buildings gonna be easy targets, first easy targets. And so that's why I have a second location, that if anything was to break out, just say next week, just say the beginning of the year, because we don't know what the new year gonna bring. If something was to happen in the beginning of the year, guys, I have a second location. I just have to get there, which that would mean me basically using my common sense and leaving when I feel like it's the right time to leave. And that's another thing. You don't want to leave at the last minute. You want to always pay attention to what's going on in your area, your city, state, whatever around you, so that way you can know how to prepare. You can know how to act accordingly on what you need to do. You always have to be thinking and know your next step. So if something was to break out, just say the new year, I would not sit here for days or weeks. I would have to leave as soon, if I see some kind of craziness or chaos starting to happen and possibly coming my way, or I start seeing little things here and there possibly in my area, that will be the time to leave, instead of waiting for months or days. I mean, weeks or days. So yeah, guys, I have a second location. That's why I tell you guys it's best to try to get a second location. Like I said, it can you can link up with a family member you trust, friends, co-workers, neighbors, whoever you trust, because for one, you're gonna be stronger in numbers if anything ever happened. Also, I want y'all to know too, if they say it's okay for you to come there, just don't come empty-handed and try to take advantage or use their stuff. Bring things with you. Start prepping your own things there. Don't take over the person place, but at least have some preps there that you can have of your own, instead of always, instead of you going there relying on all their preps or whatever. Start prepping some stuff. Maybe you can ask them, hey, do you have a little space in the basement, an extra room, or a corner, a closet? I mean, just ask them, do they have some extra space, and start putting you some stuff in your second location, so you can be able to just grab your bag. Everybody should have a prep bag. Grab your prep bag, get up and just go and make it to your second location. So, but this movie is so good. I want you guys to watch it when you can, so we can discuss it, because it's free. Now I when I Google it, I mean when I type it in on YouTube, you have a choice to rent it, and I don't know how much it is, but it looks like it's like $2.99 or $3.99. But if you have demand, you can rent it. I mean, you don't have to rent it; it's free on demand. You just gotta go to whatever your demand channel is in your state, and go down to premium, and then you should just find American Refuge. Now, if you have like a streaming system, I was gonna try, because we do have Netflix. I was gonna try to see if it's on Netflix. If it is, I will let you guys know. But try to look for this movie, guys. And another movie I want you guys to check out. Check out the movie. Now, this is on Netflix. Now, if you have Netflix, or you know someone that has Netflix, um, go to their home and try to watch it, or either you can watch it at home, because I know a lot of people have Netflix. It's called Only. That's what it's called, Only. Type in Only. That's another movie um, that's very educational, in my opinion, that I really think you guys should check out that movie, because that movie was good too, with this virus just swept through all of a sudden. The skies got dark and stuff, and all this ash started coming down, like a lot of ash. um no one was affected, but all women started bleeding out their mouths and nose, and started dropping dead. Some women were able to survive for months, but then they end up getting exposed and they started dying. So this one lady, she was doing real good, and she survived for months. Her boyfriend was helping her and was doing all the stuff to keep her safe in the apartment. But she ended up getting so upset and so depressed because she couldn't see her parents. Her family and friends was gone, and it was just them two in the apartment. She just got sick and tired of it, and she went up on top of the roof of their building, and the little, I guess they call them a hazmat suit, those little yellow suits they had on, the yellow suits they have on when they dealing with any type of diseases and stuff that can kill you, basically, to protect themselves. And when they handling um different stuff in the hospital, or when those government people come around, they dealing with anything that can expose the skin or breathe in. They have on those little yellow suits and stuff. She had one of those on, and she took her whole suit thing off, and she just stood on top of the roof. And I was like, oh my god. And then all of a sudden she just started deteriorating little by little. But she could have survived a lot longer if she wouldn't have just took off her whole hazmat suit. But it just goes to show that it's all about how mentally strong you are too. You have to ask for mental strength. You have to ask for strength in general. But it just goes to show how strong a person is, because only the strong, I believe, only the strong gonna survive. But you can be prepped or not, but that's just my opinion. I believe only the strong gonna survive. But if anything happened. But that's a really good movie. Her and her boyfriend, they end up going out to this little wooded area because, you know, they was going camping. But before they went camping, they stopped at this like cafe thing to get something to eat. And she was dressed up like a dude. And somebody started following them when they left because one guy kind of figured it out that she could possibly be a woman. And they had this award, big old award out all across the TV and stuff. If you find a woman, bring her in. We need to do research and all this and that. So it was crazy. But they was in the woods for a while because she didn't want to die in the apartment. But then this man and his son end up finding them. It was crazy. But she lived a while longer, but she wanted to die, by the water and woods and all that. But she could have lived a lot longer probably if she would have stayed in the apartment real nice and secure, where the boyfriend was trying to just keep her safe. But check out that movie Only. That is a really good movie, and you can learn a lot in that movie too. So let me know in the comment section, guys. Are you going to check out these movies? Because I really think this is something really good for us to just watch. I already watched, and I'm going to watch American Refuge again. Sometimes when movies are really, really good, I like to go back and watch it again to see if I missed anything, if it's something new that I can learn, or, just watch it again to see if I miss anything. Because to me, these are good educational movies for the times we living in. And you can learn a lot. And guys, I just want to let you know, they don't just make movies for entertainment. I thought that for years. When I was younger and a teen. But listen, in my heart of hearts, they don't just make movies for entertainment. Somebody is watching these movies. I mean, somebody is producing these movies and pumping them out for a reason. I say watch them while you can. Educate yourself, and let's just discuss this. So yeah, check out American Refuge, and that's on demand for free. And if you have Netflix, check out Only. That's the word, Only. And that's free again on Netflix. So I'm gonna go, guys. I'm gonna go and take my shower and wind down for the night. But I really enjoy the movies. But yeah, this is something that I want to do. And let me know. Some of you guys say y'all enjoy movies. Hey, get one of your movie partners, a family member, friend, your spouse, one of your kids. Y'all watch this movie. Well, I wouldn't say real young kids, because an American Refuge, I think it's a little bit too violent for younger kids. But only you can make that call if you think once you check out the trailers, because you can always go and type in the movie and watch the trailers on YouTube. But yeah, it's up to you as the parent if your kids is too young for it or whatever. But teenage kids that's at least 17 and up, well, really 16 and up, I think it'd be perfectly fine. That's just my opinion. But you guys, if you're a movie head like me, you love movies, Get your favorite partners, friends, like I said, or either just watch it by yourself and let me know what you think. So I talk to you guys later. I love chatting with you guys. If you like this um, a video, give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.